We were trying to get a picture here, but we aren't doing that successfully, it looks like. Ah, there we are. All right. Here we go. We'll get it. All right. We've got something going here. So let's see what happens tonight. We're trying to get into our other chat room. Close that up. Bring this back up. Okay. We're set to go here in just a minute. Got to figure this one out over here. It's my channel. Okay, how do we get this channel to work? Hmm. Oh, wait a minute, there, that might have been it. Okay, you out there watching, you're going to have fun tonight if I don't find out how to do this. Oh, there we go. There we are. There we are. Okay. In our chat room, hopefully, folks can hear us. Okay, we're getting all this stuff going here. And just see what we have going on here. All right, beautiful. All right, our chat room in Blog Talk Radio, that's open and live. We're going to just see how we do managing all of these different things. And yeah, we're not going to be in a suit and tie. That's just not appropriate. We're not going to do that. We're just here to talk. And if folks want to know my credentials and all that, you can go to our website, see the doctorates I have and all that, and you can ask God about me. Whatever you need to do. We are very covered by the Holy Spirit. Okay, Prophetess, are you there? I'm not sure if you're there. Let me just see if Prophetess is on. Argina, my dear wife, can you hear me? Question mark. She hasn't typed in, I don't think, yet. Okay, we're getting there. We've got 1 minute to go, and we will be live. This is exciting. Our chat room in YouTube, it's open as well. So we have that going, and we're just going to sit here and talk and see who calls in. You know, folks, I'm telling you, it's something when you are trying to do what's right, get something going here, and that's what we're about, trying to get something going. No, we don't want that. Okay, let's pull up something else. I'm gonna close this here in a minute. Let's go right up here. Okay, we're gonna be live in a minute. If anybody plugs in over there and you're listening on YouTube, we're glad that you're there. Okay, we're getting ready to go in 5 seconds. There we go. It's giving us our... Let's close this. Let's close this. And close this. Alright, this is Dr. Lauren Dew. And it looks like my wife has checked in. Good. So we've got her there in the chat room. And we'll see if she can hear us. Okay, there we go. Alright, so she's in. There we are. Alrighty, so welcome out there wherever you are today This is Dr. Lauren Dew and Argina Dew. We're on here on Blog Talk Radio with it's kind of a test program, uh, and we've been on here for 10 years. This will be 10 years in about 2 weeks. We'll have an anniversary of working on Blog Talk Radio, but we wanted to create a avenue and a place for people to feel free to call in and be able to talk anonymously and without fear of someone that they may be. Well, let's see now. She said not yet, so we got to hold on here, make sure we got some sound. That's going to be important. Okay, can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Okay, there we are. Let's see if that's any better. Okay. So we are, again, testing. We have so many things here, and again, we're just doing it. So bear with us, and if you want to call in, we're set to receive calls. That we know we can do, and that is at 646-78-1621. So yeah, you can call right in. The lines are open. We have a number of lines that are available. We've had this for a while, and so you can call in and actually be able to talk with us. So we want to make that real clear. All right, we're here, and our subject is, I think, pretty explanatory from the standpoint it's about abuse, and there are just any number of situations that we can talk about. Now, you have to also understand that in doing these programs and trying to build this from the ground up, it takes time and it takes resources, but the most important thing is it really takes people. And so finding the people and getting to them and letting them know that we're here. We are available for you. And it may not be you. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe you have a friend who needs to call into this program, and you need to let them know that we're available, if you would. If that is, not what you want to do, then maybe you want to call in. Or maybe you're just trying to see what this is all about. To see, how is this going to help somebody? Someone's probably asking. The way it will help somebody is those people that have been carrying these pains around in their inner man for long periods of time. Now you can only leave a message. Okay, what is the call-in number? Okay, Prof. So now you've asked what is the call-in number. Okay, the call-in number, let me put it in again for everyone. 646-787-1621. That's our call-in number. Okay. Yeah, like I said, we're testing this. We don't know. We did hear someone to tell us that they listened to the program the other evening. So we know that people are listening to it even on YouTube after the fact. But what we're looking to develop are the people to join us now when we're live. And we can talk to them. We can use our skills. Okay, so we say we have the wrong number posted on our page. Thank you, Prophetess. We'll have to figure out where that number is. That's the call-in number for guests to call in. I'll have to find out where you have that page, because we want to get that corrected in case somebody is calling in. Matter of fact, let's just see. Don't know if that was on our page on our Lauren Do. Let's just see if that's where it is. Again, we're doing all these things kind of real time, and that's okay. Because, like I said, we're trying to develop this, and as we get different ones, we'll do what we have to do. But let's go there. We're going now to our schedule. If you could see this, you'd see that we're in, and I think that's where the problem is. Yeah, okay, so it's in our computer. Right on. So let's go here. Let's go to our dashboard, and we're going to fix this problem. What we have going on is essentially, let's get to the right place. We want to get to all of our pages. That's what we're looking for. Back to home pages. There we go. And we have to find. We want to fix the number in our scheduling so that if someone does call in, they won't be confused and have the wrong number. That certainly can be pretty annoying and devastating. So we're going to fix that right now. It's prophetic insights, and the number, as you all have it now, is the 646-787-1687. They changed the number on us. It's 787-1621. There we go. We'll get it. 1621. There we are. Okay. 686-787, and we may cancel, delete this program. I'm using these as a test till we get stuff done. You know, it's just the two of us, and we work and work, and we got to get things done, folks. And the best way to get them done is get them done. Okay, now our page is correct. Thank you, Prophetess. And right, okay. Now, I'm not sure what you're saying there, but the program has started. Are you saying on the 646-787-1621 it's telling folks to call back? Hopefully that's not the case, because that's the number that's up here. Yeah, 646-787-1621. That's correct. All right. Let me know. Matter of fact, here, dear ones, we'll call ourselves. Let's test it and see. There we go.
Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
All right, it's live. It is working. Okay, we're going to be... All right, so that's working. All right, we're in. All of our housekeeping is done. Appreciate those of you that have been listening and enjoying this, and hopefully you have some empathy and understanding that we don't have an engineer. I am the engineer. My wife is the engineer. And we're going to get this down so that it's, when we do get to flowing, it'll be good. By April, we'll be flowing, Lord willing. Let me bring in my prophets. We'll start now with a little bit of prayer. Prophetess, you're in now. I pulled you in on Skype. You want to pray as we start this? We got about 50 minutes yet. Yeah, go right ahead. Now we got a caller just called in. Go ahead. Would you start the prayer for us? Give us a prayer. We always like to start our programs with prayer. Yeah, and this will be a little different. Thank you, Prophetess, for our program. So we pray. We had some people call in and then they hung up, which is fine. At least we know they see what's happening, and when they're ready, they'll come in, be involved. So praise God. But we're going to do what we know, and we do these programs, whether it be a secular program or a truly Christian program. We want to pray. We just like when they start the I love NASCAR, and when they get out there and they have their prayer and all that, then they start the engines. Well, now the engines started, folks. We've had prayer. Let's get going. So you're out there and you want to talk, feel free to call in. The number is 646-787-1621. That is our call-in number. And what we know, Prophetess, one of the things I think I told you, I saw someone and they just kept posting on the Twitter about every 2 or 3 minutes until they just had a whole lot of people listening. So we're just going to keep posting until we get enough people here. All right, we want our lines filled. We got 50 lines, folks. Right now we got 45 lines. So go ahead and call in. Well, listen, this whole idea of a hotline is to get to people, to make ourselves available to those who may have challenges and situations in the various areas that we will talk about. And essentially, there's really no limit with regard to abuse. When I say limit, I did a talk on this maybe a couple, 3 years ago, and I listed then what I found under abuse, and there were over 100 items, categories that came in. Now, I think this list that I have is about 21. And so I'll start there. But Prophetess, your line is open, so it's just not me that's going to talk. If we get a lady or man or whoever in here, and you hear something, you chime in. You tell me, we'll get you speaking if you want. So we're open to talk, and we want people to know this. They're talking anonymously. We're not taking prisoners. We're not. These programs are recorded, but the numbers of their call-in, that's not available. So, that's all the recording there is. It's just a program being recorded and a person talking. So you have that ability for the anonymity to be free to say what you want to say, you need to say, to possibly get the peace of mind that you need. One of the things that today I was just meditating, and the Lord showed me in my spirit about enemies. Especially, we all have enemies. But the enemy that when they meditate and they do stuff against us, what people don't know is how the dark side works, and the enemy works, the devil works. And what he does, he has that poison in those people, the hate, the envy, the jealousy, the whatever. And instead of them hurting the person that they are hating on, or that they become an enemy of, what they're really doing is they are actually destroying their own self from within, because it creates this root of bitterness, and so then things happen internally to them. And that's why it's so important when you find yourself in a position of having an enemy, or thinking someone is your enemy, or thinking that you hate someone, or anything that's negative towards someone. That negativity, you think you're really sending them, it's really going inwards, and you're destroying yourself. because that's how the devil is. The devil is a deceiver, and he thinks, boy, it feels good to talk about him. It feels good to cuss him out. It feels good to abuse him. It feels good to do whatever it is you think you're doing. But all of that energy and stuff is creating inside of you a bitter root, and as a result, something's gonna happen physically to you, whatever it is. You can read in Proverbs, gives you several things, two or three scriptures on that. So it's like, wow. And I know I've said this before, but I guess I'm supposed to keep sharing it. This might help somebody, but folks have so much hate in them, So it's like, well, how do I get rid of that? Well, you do it God's way, and you give all that to Him, and you start loving people. And so if the devil gives you sickness, but if you do it God's way, you give love, guess what? You'll have more of that in your spirit. It's just a thought for somebody, and I hope I'll remember to say it tonight when we're teaching on the Omega Man even. Tonight we'll be on 8 o'clock, those of you that may be listening on the Omega Man radio channel, and you can pull that up in the internet there to get the link, and we'll post it at some point here. Hopefully we'll post it. Well, on this abuse hotline, we, let's just list while we're waiting, see if anyone calls in. Prof, do you have anything you want to say, dear, before we just start talking again? We're going to about these different things. All right, praise God for that. That's a great segue into talking about these various things that we deal with. And if you don't want to use the term minister, we're just going to talk with you about it. We're going to share with you insights that we have from our own life point of view, things that we've actually gone through. Not about theory, but about reality and concepts that work. They work whatever. They work for the church, they work for the world. But they're principles that, if applied, they do work. So the first one we put down, we don't have these in, I don't think, any order. Eventually, I'm going to go ahead and put them in alphabetical, or at least do that. But they're not in alphabetical order right now. Church abuse, we'll start there. That's obviously dealing with people that are part of congregations. And in congregations, there is, let me put it this way, there could be various types of abuse. And that can happen uh, between members or among members, and so forth. And it is that kind of thing. For example, they're just say a leader in an organization in the church that talks down to people, and in talking down, that is a form of abuse because you are making that person feel less than, and on, less than who you are. So yeah, you got church abuse, and that's dealing with groups in the congregation and what have you. Then we have the category, of what's called family abuse, and this one has just got so many possibilities. But here's what we believe, that no family is um, not perfect. No family's perfect. All families on the planet, seven, what is it, 3.5 billion, seven, whatever the number is of people that are here, and you divide that number, the total number of people here, and then you find out how many families, whatever that number is, the families, they're all dysfunctional. There's something going on, whether it's relationships, whether it's money, whether it's uh, who's gonna get the goods when mom or dad dies or brother dies, or on and on. There's just issues that go on, and there are folks and families that just don't like each other. I mean, there's just so many possibilities of family abuse. So that's just another possibility that we have. All right. So we deal with family abuse. Then we have husband abuse. Like I said, these are not in alphabetical order, which makes them more interesting because they're kind of jumping around. But just to give you ideas, as those that may be listening, think, oh, I know somebody that's dealing in that area, or there's a wife that feels she's being abused by her husband, and she possibly is. And it's like, well, you abuse. What do I do? How do I stay and take it? Do I find a way out? Um, you don't want to be like this. Well, Babbage, I think her name is Babbage, one that basically cut her husband's penis off. Or you don't want to be like the ones that kill him, or they poison him. But maybe the best thing is just to find a way to gracefully, quickly remove yourself from the situation. So you got husband abuse, wife abuse, and men. I'll tell you, when it comes to abuse, there are many men don't want to talk about it. You know, tell them they're henpecked. But a lot of men, just don't want to deal with the fact that they have that happen. That they have a wife that is abusive towards them, And so some stay and take it, and others do whatever. So that's an area. It's a touchy area, but it's an area. It's real. And it's an area when men can come to some kind of peace in their spirit, some kind of resolve, may not be peace, but a resolve, to deal with it, and deal with that situation. Incest. This is, again, family stuff going on. And again, society, depending on where you are, depending on if you are a person of faith, person of religious, whatever, deal with in terms of your moral values, may or may not consider incest to be wrong. There are societies and groups that embrace incest, and others detest it. Then there's rape. Uh, really, where people do stuff. This is whether it be a male being raped by other males or a female being raped by by males. You have females raping females, and obviously, and not obvious, but you have females raping males, and that it's. I don't know if it's rare. I don't want to say it's rare. What I want to say is that from what I've seen, in terms of the reportability, the reporting of it. So, and all of these things that we're talking about, that is another big issue. Statistically, they say 1 in 4 females and 1 in 6 males. And the number that relates to that, so I want to just share this, is about 42 million here in America that have been abused. Welcome, Crazy Nation Radio. Okay. They're in our chat room in Blog Talk Radio. Glad to have you. And so we know of the, when we say no, we know the 42 million. But what folks don't understand, and we've been sharing this for the last 10 years actually, is that only probably a third of the situations that occur in America are reported. Possibly a third. So if you extrapolate the numbers, it's a lot of folks being abused or dealing with abuse in their families and their life. So that's why I shared that on the rape. Let's go to the next one. Next one is molestation. This happens in the home and other places, on the job, and depending. And again, a lot of these things also, where how people deal with them. This is another real issue. You know, how they really handle it or internalize it. And just think of the people that are carrying all of this pain inside of them. So now, remember, I said those are the haters. They've got a pain that they have that's growing in them, and they don't even realize it. But then the people that are bearing the pain, when it's doing them to their bodies, to their minds, the devil has got himself a real good thing going on. And I don't mean that's in a positive way. That's pathetic. It's sickening. It's to God, it's detestable. But this is what He's created, and as a result of it, He's created all kind of jobs to help folks. Folks have jobs they wouldn't have if a lot of this stuff wasn't going on. And I want to take a side trip for one moment, Prophetess. I appreciate you sharing about the suicides. I think there have been now 2 suicides this week. We don't have suicide abuse, and I want to add that to our number. 2 suicides this week from people who have had to deal with terrorism. A little young, I think it was a female that committed suicide down there in Florida, and then this gentleman that committed suicide up in don't remember. It's in New York, where I think it was New York. One of the fathers of the children that the terrorists killed. And what is amazing, and I guess I'm not sure why, uh, from a top down, the government hasn't really dealt with this like they did over in New Zealand. But boy, this is real. And these people are committing suicide because they feel that nobody really cares. Nobody really is paying them any attention and internalizing it. Prophetess, you want to say something? I heard your mic. That's beautiful. That's thank you for adding that. We got to just keep adding and saying. I was just checking Prophetess to see if we could do a live. I don't see it just yet, so maybe we'll add that at another time. Um, so let's go on. And the communication, talking. You know, may not want to use the word communication. It sounds like a big word. Just talk. You know, don't have to be uh, big words, or just talk from the heart. And that's where the issue typically is. Anyway, it's festering, and the burden and the pain is somewhere right in the gut, somewhere there in the body, and how to get that relieved. So we did molestation, uncle abuse. Like I said, these are not in any particular order. We're just kind of going through them. Um, some of the kids have got to deal with their uncles. Some of the uncles. Remember, I said the families are all dysfunctional. All families on the planet are dysfunctional. There are no perfect families, in my opinion. And there are some folks that think they're perfect families because they have money, I guess. They're not. As one person told me one time, we all have pimples and warts. They all put their pants on if they happen to wear pants. Now, some men are wearing dresses. But whatever they're putting on, they got to put it on a certain way. We all got to do that. So we got uncle abuse. We have aunt abuse. Um, and that, either one. And each one can be different. I was just thinking of how my aunt, what a great relationship I had with my aunt. But I knew she had some issues, not with me, but some other things. But so that was the other way. But I never found a way to share, start and then stop. Couldn't break through to her to help her. But you got aunts. Now, this one, the next one is Sodomy. We're just the Crazy Nation Radio. Glad you're there. We're just going through in our episode info. Maybe you've seen it, maybe not. The different things that come under abuse. That is what has lost the will to communicate, unless it is over a computer or a phone. Thank you, Crazy Nation. Just saying that. Um, the next one after we had the uncle and aunt abuse was pastor abuse. Now we up earlier we had a part of that when we had church abuse. Well, pastor abuse for those people that happen to go to church and congregations. This can happen, and it's hey, the abuse it doesn't make a difference. Understand, abuse is not a color thing. It's not an ethnic thing. Well, I think certain ethnic groups have different may have some different abuses that are part and parcel to them, but everybody on the planet, whatever ethnicity you happen to be, uh, deal with abuse, and everybody don't deal with it the same way. Everyone doesn't deal with it. So the next one we had, so the pastor abuse is one that we find really when we do our teaching on the next program we're on tonight at 8. So many people that listen to Omega Man, that people that just don't go to church anymore, folks that have stopped going to church for whatever reason, and instead they are actually staying, you know, home and listening on the radio, like the Crazy Nation just said. It's the communication, and what's I find most interesting. I was watching, just observing people, a group of people, and all of them, they all had phones, and how all these different people were sitting on their phones, so intense on their little either iPhone or whatever, and it was just something to watch. All the different ones, just they're all there, but they weren't communicating with each other. They were communicating with their device. It's almost like they're communicating with their robot, and that's on the way, people. And we already have it, I think, with the different ones. So, pastor abuse. Then we have sodomy, and that sodomy is actually legal in various states here in America. There was a time when sodomy was not legal in all the states, I believe. If not all, many of the states, but now it is legal in many states. Then we have this whole thing of down low, that abuse that goes on with their husbands who think their wives don't know that something's going on, and they suspect something, or they find out that the husband has been out with other men, and husband said, "Oh, I'm not gay." That's one of the big arguments that men will say. Some men will say, and yet they are practicing the down low. Then we have bisexual abuse. Okay, prophetess. Yeah. Uh huh. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. All right. Yep, it's a real issue. These are real issues that need real attention, and we're here to make that available. Thank you, Prophetess. Again, call in number 646-787-1621. All right, so we dealt with the down low, and that's what Prophetess said. It's so beneficial. Hopefully, someone will receive that and know how to. Here we are to help. We had, let's see, the down low. We have the bisexual abuse. We have the food abuse. Basically, the spirit of obesity has taken hold of someone, and they essentially are eating themselves to death. I tell you, it's really to me, it's another. All these things are very sad, but it's something when you happen to get to observe someone who is 3 and 4 and 5 and 600 pounds and climbing, and they look like they have no way, no hope of coming out of that. They're just eating, and as a result of just eating, they it's a little bit much. So that's one that really, to me, I feel for those people, and especially the ones that they're trapped in their homes or wherever they happen to be. Uh, I think of a situation we had even in a church situation that we knew of, where the person had to have a special cart or car, what have you, couldn't even come in their own car to be able to be transported back and forth because of the situation of weight. It has a lot of serious challenges, and then obviously all of these things play on the mind. At some point the mind gets involved. Mental abuse is our next one. Food abuse, now mental abuse, and battering, bullying, and this one goes on. Mental abuse, having to deal with this day after day. Someone saying things that are hurtful and harmful. Then we have sexual trafficking and human trafficking. Those all kind of go together. The whole idea of people being used as basically it's slavery. It's modern day slavery. And I think of the slavery that we as people of color, black folks, went through here in America and in South America and in Europe and even in our homeland of Africa. Other folks taking folks and using them, making them chattel, property. And of course the sexual abuse is just trafficking, human trafficking. It's just another type of pimping and pandering. Just putting people to work and getting the money, and the person's just doing it. It is devastating, nauseating. Then we have some categories: sex with your mother, sex with your father, sex with your teacher, sex with your daddy. That deals a lot with the prostitution thing. Sex with your sister, sex with your dog. There's just a number of places now that are actually building up, I guess you'd say it that way, or what have you. This whole thing of animal relations Of course, I don't know if what's more devastating, animal relationship or being married to a tree. Just, it's like we know that the minds have been gone. And we can give you examples of the Bible. Folks that want to say, well, where do you find the Bible? Yeah, there's folks in the Bible. Gone. So, with sex with the dog, sex with the horse, or animals, and that kind of breeding. Then we take one here, though, sex with the priests. This one has had so much attention recently with the Catholic Church and the priests basically messing with the young boys and young girls. And then so many nuns being pregnant. And then we have all the abortion. We could put abortion. I believe abortion is a type of abuse. And, we'll debate this until till the end, I believe. What is not so much legal, but why would someone go to that extreme, and why? And then were they justified in it? And on and on. But so you have that. You have all that going on. Sex with the choir director. Remember, we said we're going back and forth. We got sex with the deacon. Again, these are a lot of church things. Abuse by a warlock. And there are folks that are in these situations, many of them don't even realize just how entrenched they are, how much pain they are having to deal with. Abuse by a warlock, abuse by a witch. There was a time in the Bible time when you encountered a witch, you could go out and stone them if you had at least two or three witnesses. Now you better not touch them. I don't care how many witnesses you have. The world, society's changed. However, the word hasn't changed. Child sexual abuse. This is an area in America and the world. Children. State of innocency. Being introduced to sex. Being used as pawns. Being used as a toy. Rather than these people going and buying a toy. They can buy a doll that's the size of a child. They can buy a doll the size of an adult even. But these poor children, child sexual abuse. Then we have elder abuse. And we see that especially in areas where people are dealing, with seniors and elders. People are living longer, but when they do need help, and they have either siblings or children or what have you, and the children want that money. Some of them, not all of them. Thank heavens they're not all this way. So we got elder abuse. First lady abuse, back to church situation again. The first lady term is used specifically in churches, some churches, not all churches, but some churches. So you have the pastor, then you have his wife. And I'm not sure, is it first gentleman, first brother, when the lady's the pastor? What do they call the husband? Gotta find that one out. But again, that's first lady abuse. Then neighbor abuse. Yeah. Which, again, people, whether it be you're living in apartment complexes, you're living in houses with your neighbors, living in townhouses, and on and on. But neighbor abuse. Then racial abuse. But a lot of that in this day and time. So, those are some of them. There's a lot more. We're going to, we've been on for quite a while. Prophet, I think we're going to call this program quits. And appreciate you joining us, taking the time to be on the line, just in case someone would call in and we could talk. And hey, those of you listening, we'll be back. Uh, maybe back on Wednesday or maybe Friday. But just keep looking for this. Keep checking back. Sign up for our mailing list. Send us an email. Our email is real easy, laurendew@gmail.com or arginadew@gmail.com. So it's laurendew@gmail.com or it's arginadew@gmail.com. Go to our website and check things out at laurendew.com. Makes it very easy. laurendew@gmail or arginadew@arginadew.com. So that's the website, laurendew.com website. Or use our name to correspond with us, laurendew@gmail, arginadew@gmail.com. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Anything you want to say, Prophetess, as we get ready to wrap up this another wonderful evening? All right. And remember, one of our sayings Lord gave us is that pain is not for life. So join us the next time. You've got our numbers. Look forward to you being a part or share with someone. Tell a friend, tell your enemy, but tell somebody that we're here to listen and share. Be blessed. Be blessed. Alrighty. Night, night.